So welcome to the third Entrepreneur Social here in the Bay of Plenty. I am really excited to be here, even though I feel a little bit sad because I've just been on a 3 weeks holiday. So coming back to Tauranga and then to this traffic and this nightmare of trying to find a car park, I was like, take me back to China and Japan. Never mind. But I'm here anyway. So I'm Paulina, for those who don't know me, and I'm the city leader here for the Tauranga and the whole regional leader for the Bay of Plenty. So long term, we are planning to create those events as well in Rotorua and Whakatane and across the whole of New Zealand. For those who don't know anything about the Entrepreneur Social, it's international events, so they are all across the world, and as you can actually join the Entrepreneur Social anywhere in the world. They all have a similar stand-up, they're all in English, and as part of this event, you will have a 20-minute presentation with our wonderful speaker who I'm going to present who will present in a minute, but also we encourage you for active Q&A. So this speaker isn't here to talk about himself, even though that's what he will share his journey. He's not here to talk about selling his business. He's here about sharing his story and all the learnings as an entrepreneur on the entrepreneur journey he's gathered and all the tips and tricks he's got. So by the end, please feel free to just ask lots and lots of questions. And afterwards, we have drinks and nibbles for everyone to network and to get to know each other. On the back table, there is a sheet saying opportunity knocks. So if you guys have any opportunities in regards to wanting to help a specific entrepreneurial group, or you need help of some sort, please fill out that form and give it to me. And then I will make sure by the end of it that I will share it with the whole group on Facebook and with all the contacts within our community. So the whole point of this event is not just for you to listen, but also to gain something out of this and create opportunities and collaborations together here in the Bay of Plenty. Okay? So let me introduce our wonderful speaker. I'm a little bit biased because I am married to him. I've known him for 8 years, and I can say that I find it very amazing that after 8 years in business and on the entrepreneur journey, he has decided to do his first public speaking gig today. So meet Tyral from FIK Laser. FIK Laser is a laser company and manufacturing company here in the Bay of Plenty, and Tyral started this business with his father about 8 years ago.
Yes.
Yes, so I will pass it on to you now.
Thanks. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Tyral, obviously from FIK Laser. I'm going to talk about how not to do a work-life balance. I was going to talk about how to do a work-life balance, but I'm much better at probably telling you not how to do it. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions first, and I'll move over this side, sorry. Who thinks they've got work-life balance? Anybody? Yeah, all right. Yeah. So who thinks they work too much? There you go. Most people. And who thinks they play too much? Yeah, there's always one. Well, I think I'm still working on it, put it that way. And I was going to put it, so I'll tell you a little bit about the backstory anyway. So I started FIK with my father 7 years ago, 7 to 8 years ago. Well, we're in year number 8 now. And we just sort of see this gap in the market for what we were doing already. We were already doing some engineering, and we were just like, we had lots of people asking us going, oh yeah, what are we going to do, and blah, 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 blah. And we were just like, well, we'll invest in, and we started. So as we carried on, life got really busy, and obviously I like my playtime, obviously, like to go riding, and but as the business grew and as the pressure came on, that dropped off. Less playtime, less bikes, more working, and I started to get pretty stressed out. And So the whole point of it is that we're working that hard, there's not a lot happened apart from working, we're up first thing in the morning, busting nut all day, and then, get back home late that night, even in the morning. So I actually became super focused on it, and there was not much else doing apart from doing work stuff, which became pretty scary because I started missing out on. I started to feel like I was starting to miss out on life a little bit, but it didn't really, at that point it probably hadn't hit me, and I was still going, this is what I'm doing, and that is pretty much what we're doing. So there's a point where we will hit the wall. And that was a scary moment. We were working away one day, and my father rang me first thing in the morning, and he said to me, "I don't feel very good." And I was just like, "Oh, okay. I'm having the day off." So I was like, "Okay, well, that's a bit weird." And so we carried on, and I had a bit of a weird feeling. And he rang me later that day, and he said to me, "I've been to the doctor. Can you come pick me up and take me to the hospital?" So, shit the bed. Off we went and picked him up, dropped him off, hooked him up to his machines and all the rest of it, and everybody was just like, okay, sweet. He ended up that they thought he might have had a heart attack during the weekend. So I left him there for the night. He's in the hospital, he's in the best place he can be. There's not much else you can do. Dropped in in the morning and said my lows, and off to work I went. I got a phone call later that day while waiting for surgery. He had 2 massive heart attacks, and talking to him later, he reckoned he saw the light, so that was pretty scary. He did make a full recovery, which was awesome, but unfortunately, having a man down who was pretty much my sounding board, and you always have that one person partner. It was like he was my partner in crime with doing what we were doing, that all day, every day, and that really took its toll on me. And eventually I did have a meltdown, eventually I did have that meltdown, and it just broke me. I tried to hide it from the staff, but that didn't work very well. I was very lucky that my beautiful wife was on her way into work that day, and found me walking down the road by myself, going, "What the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this?" And she pretty much scooped me up and took me down to the pub and had a beer and said, "Go ride your bike, mate. Sober up, go ride your bike. She's all good." And that's really, this is the hand up that she gave me, and that really was my turning point about what I wanted to do. I got to that point where, I just went, what am I doing? I don't see my wife very much. I wasn't seeing my family. Friends wasn't very social, and it just, I was pretty much missing out on life. So that was my turning point, and I went, bugger it, we're going to change it. And so we sort of got stuck in from there. And it was pretty awesome because once I'd sort of got my shit back together and went, oh yeah, sweet, what are we going to do? I actually noticed that my team had picked up the company really, really well. And they were doing it, and they were running it without us. So, that was the realization of, I don't actually need to be there to hold their hand. They can do it. I have taught them something, amazingly enough. But it was that point of just going, just let it go, just let them do what they're supposed to do. They're employed to do that, do them what I do. But at the time I didn't know that, but that was a big realization for me. And so I let go of that bit, and after that realization I went, well, how am I going to keep doing that? So I implemented, come to me with solutions, not problems, which is the biggest thing. If you're always there, people will always come and see you and go, oh, how do I fix this? And it's just like, well, you know how to fix this. You've fixed it 10 other times. Why am I fixing it for you? Just, come to me with an issue. If you have an issue, come to me, and I'll tell you, we'll work through it, but tell me what you're going to do first, and then we'll talk through it. And the other thing is, what I found once we got past all that thing and we're on to the next, the big thing for me is just like, what am I going to do now? You know, we need to grow the business. I don't need to work so much. The company's got it, the boys have got it under control. That's good. But I didn't know, you know, you turn around and go, well, I don't know what I don't know. And there's so many things that you don't know within yourself and your business. So what not to do? This is the part, hopefully the part that I'm going to, what not to do? Don't work some long hours. That was my biggest thing. Working long hours turns you into a horrible person. It's like, my wife used to kick me out on the weekend and go, you're working too much, go ride your bike, you're horrible. Get out of my house. And I come back much nicer person. You don't need to do it, to be honest. Get somebody else to do it. You know, you can outwork most of your stuff. If you're doing 80 hours or something like that, something's going wrong. You don't. I don't personally believe you don't need to do those hours. I know I'm sounding like I'm preaching to the choir, but to be honest, if you're doing big hours, you're either disorganized or outwork that easy stuff because other people can do it. You can pay someone to do it, or that's why you got staff. Easier. Doing it yourself. You don't need to do it all yourself. I think I just explained this, but outsource it, get it out there, pass it on, pass the ball. You know, share it around, get a team around you. That's the best thing, man. You're going to just build yourself a team. It's freaking, that's what they're supposed to be doing. Weapons of mass destruction. Social media or anti-social media. You like, once you get tired, you're not doing those 80 hours, you find lots of time to waste because you're tired. Your brain doesn't want to work. Well, I knew my brain doesn't want to work. Was one of the big time wasters. Once I got tired, it was easy enough to just soak yourself into watching something rubbish or looking at something that you shouldn't be watching. It's going to waste so much time. It wasted lots of my time, and I've cut a good percentage of it out, like huge amounts from what I used to be, just because, you know, you do so much of it. And this is the next bit. Things I did. Set the goals. I actually found this one the other night. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't come here to be average. Turn up to work focused. Do your thing. Be awesome. Keep focused on your goals. Set them out to be. One of the big things I did was it's like I set some goals and I went, I expect those goals are cool. Yeah, I can manage those. And I got talking to a few people and I did a bit of research and it's just like, actually those goals are a bit rubbish. You know, you just go, oh yeah, well, I'll strive to do this. But the thing is, it's like if you strive, the big thing I found is it's like, don't strive to do the little thing. Go and strive to do something massive. You know, get out there and go. You know, don't 2 times it, go 10 times. 10 times can be way easier than just 1 times in it. Because you just, you know, sometimes the goals too like we were setting goals for FIK earlier in the year, and it's just like, we'll just looking at another X amount more, which may be double what we were wanting to do. And then we set, and you sit down and you go through all your you sit down and go through everything that you wanted, your budgets and all the rest, and go, how are we going to get there? So you're looking at, 2 times, and you're just like, what if we 10 times it? What happens when you 10 times it? You go from being, let's say, pick a number, 100K, let's 10 times it, let's make it 100K, let's make it 1 million, or 1.2, or 10 million. And then you have a whole lot of different problems. But sometimes those problems that you have those problems that you have when you double it are no longer a problem because you're 10 times as big as you used to be. You're now looking far further ahead, and it's way better. It's way better. Like the goals are way cooler when you're 10 times stuff. Heaps better. Journaling. This is one of the big things I picked up. Sitting down. Big thing I found with, I don't know, people are going to go, what the fuck are you journaling for? But to be honest, it's been one of those things that's like, you set your goals, and then every day you sit down and sit down. Like I sit down first thing in the morning with my, I don't drink coffee, but sit down with breakfast and go, hey, what's happening for today? Look at the goals, what you're going to do today, or you look at your big goals. Go back to your main goals and go, what am I doing? And how am I going to get to it today? What am I going to do today to make those things happen? And sometimes you tick off a whole lot of stuff during the day. Sometimes you tick off nothing. But then, hey, sometimes not every day's golden, eh? And also the other thing, the other side of journaling as well is coming in from the top end. Like coming in from say at night before you go to bed. I don't like to journal at night because you end up thinking about all those things that you were supposed to be doing during the day, and then you spend all night going, what am I going to do? And then it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're still trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. But so at night I just ask myself a question. What am I going to do tomorrow? Or what should I be thinking about for tomorrow? And then next day, it's usually something comes towards you, and you can start on that. Or even just be grateful. Go and do something cool. Eat good stuff. Eat lots of good stuff, like The Rock. Be massive. And I know it can be a bit airy-fairy, but what goes in, it needs to be a big thing to what comes out. Eating rubbish, sugar and donuts and shit all day long, that ain't going to help you. It's not going to help you. All you're going to do is spike, and you have a sugar spike. You'll have about 20 minutes of fun times, and then you'll be, that ain't no good. You got to have something to. Yeah. Well, like when it's midnight and you're like, oh, I need to get this done. I need to get out before the morning. Have some, like you're stuffing sugar down your face to try and stay awake and keep on going. Doesn't happen. It's just not going to happen. So that's a big thing, and you'll get a lot of clarity, and it will take a lot of time. Man, I'm racing through this, eh? No, am I not? No, sweet. Exercise. This is where playtime comes in. I love this shit, eh? And I picked these pictures because they're not like a normal exercising thing. It's not like running down the road or going for a walk or going to the gym or whatever. This is like getting back out into nature. Go and hang out and do some stuff. Because a lot of people just go, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to go for a walk, I hate swimming, or I hate running. I don't like running. Running sucks. I don't like swimming either. I don't want to stare at the bottom of a pool all day. I want to go ride my bike, or you go snowboarding or surfing. We live in the mountain, man. You can just go for a swim in the morning. That's awesome. But I like a lot of these things, especially since it's winter time too. Like a lot of these things are just mind clearers. They'll get you out there, and it's awesome, man. It's like meditation, and like you'll blow the week away. You come back to work refreshed, loving it, and it keeps you real. I find riding. If you haven't noticed, I kind of ride bikes. For me, like the biggest thing for me is for riding is just it's something that will take your mind off everything. There's nothing else but making sure you're going in the right direction, and trying to control, not trying to hit the ground or something dumb like that. It's the last thing, or a tree. And it's also good, good social as well. Lots of people do it. It's pretty popular. It's the same thing with snowboarding. You get out with your mates, go snowboarding with mates, chat up to them on the way up on the chairlift. Spend a couple of hours, go and have our press afterwards. A few beers, hot pool, sweet. Same for surfing. You sit out there and bob around in the surf with your mates. So it's good. Always find time for it. Schedule it. If you can't do it, schedule it. That's what I find. Well, that's what I do find. It's just like I'm going. Not going to lie, on Monday. I just came back from China on when did we come back from China? Saturday? So 2 days of rest. Went to work for a couple of hours. Shot out for a couple of hours while riding. Best thing ever. If you can do it, do it. It'll make work go so much better. And that's it. Like I go to work if I can get a couple of hours riding, and if I can sneak that in and then make up the hours at night. Get a bit more focused, especially if nothing's happening during the day. That's a big thing for me. Like if you're sitting there staring at a computer and nothing's going on, you're just like, oh, go and do something. Go for a walk, go around, go ride your bike. People. That was supposed to be Where's Wally? You're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. This has been a game changer for me. I just spent the 2 weeks with 65 other entrepreneurs in Japan and China. Best time of my life. The level of people that you surround yourself is ridiculous. They will raise you up every time, and they just like your level of thinking will go from where you think you are to up here. You know, you surround yourself with the right people. You will grow so much faster, and they will open your mind to some amazing stuff, man. There's some cool people out there doing some cool stuff, and there's a lot of people out there sharing a lot. I'm going to harp on about the EI guys, the entrepreneurial social guys. Such an open group. We spent with them, and like you can sit down with anybody, and you'll get some awesome information out of everybody. Really good energy, and you need to surround yourself with those good people to level up, reach your goals. Big thing is about collaborate. Like you have those 5 people around you to collaborate. They'll know 5 more good people. They'll probably also know 5 other good people. And you just get that good community going on, and good things will happen. And invest in yourself. Big thing is investing in yourself. Earlier this year, which probably really started a lot of this, was just sitting down and going, what am I going to do? You know, like I said in the early ones, you don't know what you want and don't know. Find a group of people that do know. You know, Pauline and I have gathered a couple of communities, online communities, randomly how we found out of them, and just the amount of learning and the tools that you can pick up from other people, and just investing in yourself. You know, like spend some money on it, find some knowledge, go see people like Sonia. She's a personal coach. Sorry, but that's it. You know, like go out there and spend some money. Like once you spend some money on it, you got to do it. You know, you spend a couple of grand with someone, or however much you want to invest in yourself. It's the best money you'll ever spend. You know, you can pass up on the shiny new pair of shoes or whatever, or come on, you know. Like you should, like if you invest, yeah. But the thing is, it's like if you invest, say $2,000 in someone, you should pull out 10 times that. You should be able to increase 10 times in your life, or whatever you want to do with it. If it's happiness in your life, or productivity, or income, or how much travel you want to do, or whatever it is, if you invest in yourself, you will get it back if you work hard at it and change yourself. And that's the biggest thing I found. We've only made the big change probably, when did I start really making big changes? End of December, probably. And we've seen massive amounts of gain so far. 6 months ago, I would have never got it up in front of people. That still scares the shit out of me at the moment, but but it's one of those things, you know, it's just like, I would never stand it. 6 months ago, I would have been like, I'm not standing up in front of people telling you what's happened and where I'm going with things. And I would not have this knowledge anyway, so, but it's cool, yeah. This is probably the biggest thing for me, is just invest in yourself. There's heaps of knowledge out there, there's heaps of stuff out there. Look around, have a look at the e-social guys that we're joined in with. They've got, that community's awesome, they're good dudes. Have a sense of humour. Can't do anything without having a sense of humour. My company's is ridiculous, like we're pulling piss out of everybody all day, every day, and I'm pretty sure like some people turn up and it's like, you guys do any work? No, we're just like pulling piss out of each other. I know Sheree you get a bit pissed off with us. Yeah. Sheree's is now in with us, so yeah. But yeah, if you don't have a sense of humour, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. And actually, that's just about me. So go ride your damn bike. Thank you.
All right. The social people he's talking about is the Entrepreneur Institute, and it's a free community. There's about 3 million people all around the world who's connected to the Entrepreneur Institute. About 800,000 active members all around the world. So if you want to know a little bit more about it, because this is not a plug, just come and see us afterwards and we can tell you how to find a little bit more about this community. Thank you,
No worries.
Tyral.
Did that go
Yeah,
okay?
perfect.
Yeah, no?
I didn't even have to growl him, so
Yeah,
that's
sweet.
for time.
I thought I was racing through it a bit quick.
Yes, no, fantastic, thank you.
Fabulous. Everybody can get home for dinner.
So we'll start off the Q&A. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll start it off because
you always ask the hard questions.
Yes, I like asking the hard questions.
Oh, you're going to make me
So,
sweat, aren't you?
Pardon?
You're going to make me sweat, aren't you?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
I will hold on the microphone to you so that everyone can hear you even with the Q&As later on, so don't be surprised that you get the microphone. But one question I have is,
Yes.
and I know this for a fact, we were both a little bit like this, but as a business owner,
Yes.
and starting as a business owner, you've never seen yourself as an entrepreneur, is that correct?
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you made the switch from saying you're a business owner to actually using language and identifying with being an entrepreneur?
How do I do that? Yeah, good question. Because like when we first started the business, it was just we were already doing engineering stuff for another company, and we had all these people coming into us and saying, if you could just do this, we would come along with you. And so that's sort of how that started. And it probably wasn't really until mid last year that we really went, yeah, actually, not just a business owner, there's way more to it. And probably picked up more of the creative side and being entrepreneurial about what we were doing, I guess. Just growing and I think just meeting the people for anything, I think, more than anything. Does that sort of answer your question?
Sure.
Not really. Did I just go around it? Yeah.
So can you tell that he's been in a relationship for a while, so he knows how to talk around the questions? That's fine. Do you guys have any questions? No?
No?
Fabulous. Oh, no?
Oh, yeah.
Sarah?
I just wanted to ask whether you had a mentor, somebody that you showed us the sort of the journey through from being the victim to all the way up to being a legend.
Yep.
Is that something that you had help with from somebody who mentored you and was sort of holding your hand? And
Yep. So a few years ago, I first started with Sonia, and we did. I think it was a little bit hard work to start with because you, as a young male, being very blue, I shouldn't say, but very blue collar and straight off the floor, and I always worked on a workshop for 20, 30 odd years. I was like, oh, what's all this, all that sort of, So I wasn't very open to it, but Sonia sort of made me come around to it, and that was the first step. And then, so we left it for a few years, and then end of last year, I was really looking for the, how I had the you don't know what you don't know on there before, and I was just like, there's got to be a better way, there's got to be, there's got to be some more information out there. So I ended up finding a personal mentor to start with, and he's this guy, Benjamin Hardy. He's got an online community, and he just sort of started that, and that was the first start of it, and he gives out really, really good tools. He's got a blog on Medium or something like that. Just look him up. But he's got some really, really good tools to help you out, and all simple stuff like the journaling and the big goal setting and the 10 times in, and there's heaps of people out there with all that sort of stuff, but he sort of puts it down. And the second thing is we ended up out of randomly we found the EI guys, so the Entrepreneurial Institute guys. They actually had it was just a Facebook ad, and at the time Pauline and I, we were flat stick, and she just went, we should go do this. And we're like, oh, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this whole growth thing, and we'd grown a lot, like even in the first few months. And so we went along this. She booked it a couple of months before, and we were like, oh, I don't know, barely had any time to go to it. So we went to this thing, and I think the first couple of hours, I remember sitting at Smoko, we looked at each other and went, this is a load of bullshit. So if this doesn't get any better, I'm out of here. And then by lunchtime, we were just like, this is amazing. These guys are wicked, yeah, and they really, really know their stuff. But that's it's very business based. It's not personal at all. Those are the guys we've just been away with, and they are very, very intense. This story always just cracks me up. Like, we were traveling on the bullet train between Beijing and Shanghai, and so they stuck us all, like 65 of us, so they stuck us all in this one cabin pretty much, bar two poor souls. And one of the guys said he had to go, the bathroom was full on our cabin, and so he had to go a couple cabins bit down. And he comes back and he goes, I was walking back, and he said the other two are dead silent. The rest of the train is dead silent. And he goes, you walk in here and it's absolute ruckus. It's like there's people dancing in the aisles, there's people yelling at each other, there's a half-assed food fight going down there, somebody giving some shit down on the other end. It's ridiculous, yeah. And the whole trip was like that. Like, it was just, like, we had 2 buses full of people, and like, you got in the bus, and from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9, 10 o'clock at night, we're just full noise. So yeah, they're just, and those are the sorts of people that, that's what I was talking about earlier, is like those people like really make you level up and just notice what you can do. And that was a big eye opener for me, yeah. So it's going to be interesting, yeah.
Okay, the mentor we have is Roger James Hamilton. He launched Entrepreneur Institute, and we are lucky enough that he helps us in our business. And the other person, so we have a few mentors. The other person who's really helping us is Craig from Prime Strategies. He comes to us once a month. So everything, Roger goes, go out there, make millions, go and conquer the world. When Craig goes and says, okay, and how are we going to do this realistically?
Yeah,
and let's just have the conversation about this.
Yeah, because there's a few times, I think we'd been, it was funny because Craig was coming in for a thing, and he was just like, comes in with this piece of paper and goes, oh, we're gonna do, what was it? It was something boring as, or we're looking at your budgets or something like that. Paul and I were like, nah, we're not doing that. We wanted 10 times it and we want this. He was like, oh, well, we're not doing that then. So we've been on that buzz, and we still are, so yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool. Kieran, I think you had a question.
So you touched briefly on the outsourcing and spending less hours in the company so that you could obviously spend more time enjoying what you like out of work. What strategies obviously you touched on humour, but what strategies do you have in the workplace to make sure that you still enjoy your job?
Humour's the big thing.
Yeah.
Good question. I enjoy the people more than anything now these days. Like, my job's gone from operating machinery, and to these days I barely touch a machine. I might start it in the morning and press go button, and that's about it. I'll solve some issues. So my job's gone from that all the way now to full managerial, and I deal with people and all that sort of thing. And I think more the discovery is I actually quite enjoy hanging out with people and having a bit of banter and that sort of thing with the clients. Like, our clients are pretty good, so that's pretty fun. I do find it very, very difficult to sit down in front of a computer and do the numbers. It's really not my thing, but giving the clients a bit of shit, that's always good. and also, which I've since I've discovered we've been away, I was also dropping bombs on the team. That's always hilarious. He's like, oh, I'm gonna, because you get stuck in my little office, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you come up with some awesome cockamamie idea, and you come out to the staff and go, we're gonna do this, and they'll look at you and they're like, yes, and you walk away, and you're like, that was freaking good fun. And they're like, walk away, and they're all like, ah. Keep them on their toes. It's just like, you guys are getting too bored. So so just keeping things fresh and keeping things moving along. Yeah, it is tough. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I've had it's been real tough trying to transition from being on the floor to being not on the floor. Yeah. Does that make any sense?
It's like owning a business is kind of like having a child, in that sometimes you have to try really hard to choose to love them. when things get difficult in business.
Yes.
It's a choice,
yeah.
and it's a shift in your head.
Yes.
Because you know that it's not all bad, it's just bad sometimes,
Yeah.
and the good times are so good, it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, it's that whole, like, I don't know if you've ever seen that. There's a little short video meme thing, and it's just like, this is how business should go, and it's like, this is how business actually goes, and it's like,
yeah, like a tangle.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it is. Like, you're always going to have it. Your days are not always going to be awesome, and you know it. But yeah, I guess you do love it no matter what it is. It is our baby, so And some days are awesome, and some days not so much. You're like, you little bastard.
It'll be unconditional love, though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and you have to love it. Yeah, you really do. You have to have a decent passion for it. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. But you also need to have a break from it too. Well, I guess it's a bit easier than a kid. Yeah. Or you just close the door and walk out.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions?
Just one quick one.
Yep.
You talked about your journaling.
Yes.
One thing I'm suspecting you probably do, which you haven't mentioned, is use that as a point of reflection, so you can celebrate the wins. Do you do that? So you're kind of looking back across your notes, what you've achieved.
Yes.
You can actually say, look, hey, I did actually achieve something this day.
Yeah, I do occasionally. I probably don't look back on it enough.
You need to do it more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Because there's and it's quite interesting. Like, I was looking through it a couple of weeks ago, and there's just it's quite interesting to see that the main goals haven't actually changed. And that was one of the cool things. Is I still want to do. The main goal was I still want to do this, and I still want to do this, and I still want to do this. But it changes a little bit, and also the main thing I've seen is that the scale's just got bigger. The goal's still the same, but the scale's is 10 times. It's not just one time anymore. Which I thought was really cool.
10 times of 10 times.
Yeah.
As you grow, you develop. And
Yes,
you
yeah.
further, so
And
one of the key things for journaling, I think, is the fact of actually celebrating successes, because so often we get caught up in working flat out and achieving things and think, what am I doing? What am I doing this? Then you've got to sit back and relax and think, well, actually I did do that. I did achieve that.
Yeah.
And sometimes as business owners, we forget to do that.
Yes.
We are doing a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to, for those who've got kids, you kind of look at them one day and you sort of, geez, you've grown up. Where did that go? Yeah, and it's the same in your business. It's like you've got to take that time to reflect on your business, where it's come from, and that allows you to start thinking about where you're going to next.
Yes.
And that next goal and next step.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was I totally agree with you. It's one of those things that, and it's probably one of the things that Pauline always tells me. He's like, you did really well today. We've done X and we've done Y, and I'm just like, really, it's not that good. But you look back and you're like, actually, that is really awesome. And then you're just like, oh wow, I am actually making improvements. I'm doing really, really well. You're sitting there some nights you're like, man, what? After a big week and you feel like you've been beaten with a large stick all week, and you're just like, why am I doing this? And you look back and go, actually, I'm sitting where I need to be, and I've got some great friends, and I live in an awesome place, and there's nowhere I'd rather be in the world. And it's just like, actually, I'm doing all right, and the business is doing good, and we're pretty happy. So it's like.
I'm glad I've got this on video, so I can now replay this every single time.
I think I'm going to get this played back to me.
Every time I'm having this conversation with him and he goes, it didn't work, I'll be like, let me just play the video for you. So Patrick, if you can give me a little clip of that statement, perfect.
Yeah.
It's nothing worse than the conversation a bloke has with himself every
I do like the analogy of it being like a child, because we see, especially here in New Zealand, see business as I'm going to do this for a couple of years and then I sell it on. While if you see it as a baby and you're growing, like we've been in this for 8 years, if you're growing it over 30 years, 40 years, 100 years, then you can achieve so much more, because your vision is so much bigger than I just want it for a couple of years and then
sorry.
We have one more question,
Oh, do we?
and then yes.
I was
and
just going to say that it was
Yeah.
cool about the, about growing it as in almost generational. Being in China and Japan, we had a guy there from, who's that Japanese guy?
Nissan Motor Group, the GM.
Like he was there, and he was showing us this like the amount of companies that were over 100 years old, and there were 7 companies that were over 1,000 years old, and they're only 7, and they're all in Japan, and the majority of companies over 100 years were all in Japan. There's like 56% were. It's pretty amazing. It's like that's generational stuff. That's wicked. Yeah.
All right, one more question,
Sorry,
and then we go
waffling.
into the drinks.
Oh, you've thought of something.
No, yeah, it was the thing I thought about the other day.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about when you're expanding and needing help, or if you're too busy and you need help. You guys have profiled for people, and what's your advice on getting the right people? You know, because everybody freaks out. They know they need help, but they're a bit worried about, you know. And I'm not talking about.
Getting the right people.
Profiling.
You need to decide what you're going to give away and what tasks you're not going to do, and who would be best suited to it. You know, so like, whatever you're going to do, whatever you don't want to do, hand it off to somebody who's really good at it. You know, find someone who's going to be good at doing those tasks. So like if you like, I suck with numbers, so I get and stuff. So I get people like yourself, who is really awesome with numbers, and enjoys that sort of side of the thing, to do all those sorts of things. You're like, I can't. I'm hopeless at sitting in front of a computer.
So a little bit about the profiling, as we've decided this year, which was a big shift in our business, is gone from a job description based job to a strength based job. So we profiled all our staff, and based on their strengths and who they were as people, we adjusted the job description slightly and reallocated jobs. So is that what you were aiming at?
Yeah.
So for example, Sherry, they have really, the profiles have really wacky names, so apologies for that. But Sherry is a lord, which is all about steel-based energy. So it talks about numbers, about processes, about being really detailed focused and attention focused. So rather than asking her to do our marketing and come up with a fluffy wording for our Facebook page, we would ask her to go and say, can you go and research a few companies, engineering companies out there we haven't touched base with yet, so that she can then focus on all the detail and all the research, while then we get our wonderful Blaze person here, the star, which is actually what the profile is called, to go out there and then contact the people. So we shifted the focus from teaching our staff to do something they're not good at, and taking it away and focusing on the things they're good at, and they're in flow.
Like the person is actually, that's what they do. That's what they're good at. You know, like you don't want to be given someone like me who's useless with numbers and doing those sorts of things. You don't want to be giving me accounting or giving me the books or anything like that. Like, it's going to take me months to do what somebody like Cherie or something like that can do in half an hour. Like, no way.
All right, thank you very much.
Right, sorry, waffling.
Let's continue this conversation over a drink. I think might be much nicer instead of in front of the camera, and you can relax. So thank you. I personally, and I'm biased, think you've done awesome for your first presentation.
Thank
so
you.
well done.
Thank you.